All right, everyone. My name is Pascal Borel, and I'm talking to you from the Swiss mountains. Back to the economy, back to corruption, back to governments. Uh, Shame on Geneva, shame on Switzerland, and shame on all Swiss citizens that have been stolen from their direct democracy. Geneva is just about to allocate 10 millions to pay for the salaries of those who have been dismissed, sacked, fired from the corrupt institutions that they were working for because USAID has cut their funding. It is utterly crazy. So Geneva is replacing the source of fund that those people are feeding on, buying them the obscene quality of life that they have in Geneva in the name of humanitarian aid and you name it, you name it. Uh, it is an absolute shame when we have in the US, for the first time in decades, people courageous enough to uncover the institutionalized theft of taxpayers' money. And I name Donald John Trump, G.D. Vance, the vice president, people like Pam Bondi. Remember this name, Pamela Pam Bondi. She's been nominated chief, general attorney. And she's going to make an amazing difference. She's such a bright woman. When you hear her speaking, immediately you know that she's so bright, so clever. The ideas are absolutely perfect. She finds the word to tell what her project is for justice in America in a way that everyone can understand immediately. Donald John Trump has nominated Tulsi Gabbard, which was the nominee, and now she's in her function. She's the boss of all intelligence services in the US, namely NSA, CIA, and you name them. She's such an amazing woman. She's so bright again. Her speech is crystal clear. She's got a project for you, for her, for us, in fact. And she's going to bring back transparency in an opaque world where people are deprived from their understanding of what's going on. And if you are hidden, if people hide you, what you need to know about your environment to adjust your behavior to it, how can you possibly have the right behavior? Tulsi Gabbard, Gabbard. Check her out. She's amazing, absolutely amazing. She's 10 times brighter than any man who has occupied her position over the last decades. It's a fact of life, and you'll see it very soon. The people like Sash Patel, who's the nominee for being the director of the FBI, no less. This guy will make sure that the FBI, rather than being a weaponized organization in the service of political interests, will be back in its core function, as in fighting against violent crimes in order to make the citizens, the people, more secure. He's amazingly courageous. And when he is in place, he will do a great job. Think of RFK Jr., Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., who should be in place at the head of health or healthcare services, or namely the way you want. The biggest budget of the state. Those people are uncovering the institutionalized theft behind so many smoke screens in the name of foundations, trusts, NGOs, and what have you. which are all just a giant laundering machine. And rather than giving a hand and helping those people, Geneva is actually allocating Swiss taxpayer money in order to carry on this institutionalized theft. It's crazy. And apparently, there are about 500 of those NGOs in Geneva. I don't have the precise number. I think it's 475 to 500, whatever. And of course, all the biggest foundations, such as the Clinton Foundation, the Gates Foundation, the Soros Foundation, although Soros, I don't know, but he's probably having an antenna in Switzerland because Switzerland washes whiter than white. And we have a legal framework, a constitutional framework, and a political organization that's been fine tuned to put as an absolute priority financial interest. Switzerland has become the worst cash machine ever invented by mankind. It is crazy bad. And we have this finance minister, Mrs. Fontanet. And what I'd like to know from her is who are the advisors which have been able to convince her that rather than helping those who are fighting corruption and institutionalized theft, have convinced her that she should take her place and fund those people that have been sacked, dismissed, fired from those corrupt institutions. I just give you a few examples, not too many, because otherwise I'm going to spend my whole day making this video. But in Switzerland, for instance, we've been through one of those organizations subsidizing Moroccan tourism when Morocco, which is an incredible place and one of the most magnificent, the Moroccan Atlas Mountains are just magnificent. The seashore is amazing to spend your holidays. They have desert, mountains, they have everything. It's crazy. And we are in Switzerland, we have organizations which are arrogant enough to go there and teach them how to organize tourism. Even worse, we send people and we pay NGOs to go and teach the Moroccans how to make a tagine dish, which is the national dish, literally, of Morocco. You know, and it's so good. It's and we are in Switzerland organizing an NGO or whichever foundation, whatever, is going there to teach them how to make a tagine, the national dish of Morocco, as if the Moroccans were arrogant enough to come here in Switzerland and teach the Swiss people how to make a cheese fondue. Are you out of your mind? And we allocate money to this, and you are so dumb that you believe people telling you this. Another example in Ukraine. We've been spending the first year 500,000 Swiss francs, the second year 1.5 million, and I think the third year it's in the range of 5 million Swiss francs to go and educate plumbers. May I remind you that Ukraine has nuclear power plant, the most advanced biological labs, has had nuclear silos with missiles. Of course, well, the Russians have removed the missiles because NATO wanted to steal them from the Russians. But long story short, they are highly technically advanced. And you think that it is for Switzerland or through, USAID, through, excuse me, Switzerland to go and teach people how to be plumbers? And well, as I said, first year 500,000, second year 1.5 million, third year 5 million. Of course, no one has complained on the initial lie. So it allowed people to, distribute kickbacks, commission, retrocessions, name them the way you want. And as it works well on the first year, we increase the amount on the second, and we yet increase it again on the third year. And you believe truly that your government is honest with you. Again, It is such a contempt for the taxpayers' money, whether in the US, in Switzerland, anywhere throughout the world, because everything is interlinked. We're all responsible of that. And the only way to stop this is to give governments a mandate or the obligation to disclose each and every spending. It is called third party oversight principle. It's called third party oversight principle, and it is due to the citizens. Total transparency. This is what I've written for you in my book 2024. And I have in it all the chapters that you need to read. Sources of state revenues, chapter 7. I can open the book and show it to you better. In fact, what I'd like you to do, let me show it to you. Scan this QR code, get on the website, order the book, or read it for free. It's all online. I'm not even trying to sell you anything. I'm just saying that you have the sources of state revenues, page 182. And I just show you 182. Okay. Here we go. And what am I doing on the very first pages? Sources of state revenues. I'm disclosing in a very simple way, an understandable way by a 7-year-old kid, income, how the revenues are generated. Income taxes, indirect taxes, inheritance taxes, wealth taxes, property taxes, capital gain taxes, inflation, the most corrupt way of stealing your money without even having to send you a tax bill. No, it's done behind your back. And it's a political will with with the help of central banks, the Fed, whatever. Political debt. Political debt. I'm not naming it public debt. It has nothing to do with public. Has got nothing to do with you. It's a purely organized political debt to compensate for the miserable management of your state today, of your nation today. And theft, like we've seen it in Cyprus, where 10% of every account 10% of the money of every account that held more than 100,000 was stolen by the state. Man, I wrote it all. I did write it all. And it's all in there. And I'm talking about, of course, not only source of revenues of the state, but mostly politicians, how they operate, what is their business model. It's all in there. I've written. Here we go. Political leaders. How do they make money stealing the value of your work? Men, check it out. You go on www.4ovet24.com and everything is for free. And if you prefer the paper format like me, because I quite like to put a few notes at the end, left a few pages, so voila. I like to read such a book with a pen in hand and being able to underline, what is of importance to me, put little crosses in the margin, whatever. But you have it all. But most of all, you have your roadmap out of this vicious circle. And results are guaranteed. I've been working myself in the financial industry for most of my life. I understand the way they operate. I've been the president of the board of companies in the domain of energy. I've been a non-exec director for companies in all kind of domain, food and beverage, health, and so forth. So please, this is the conclusion that I have drawn from my professional path and being an active player of the organized theft, corruption that is in motion at every stage, even up to your health, the way they treat you. It's all in there. And mostly, I'm not just the witness of what's going on around me. like what I'm trying to describe here about Geneva being the shame of Switzerland stealing people's money to yet give a better lifespan to corruption, fraud, scams. So I've drawn my conclusions. It's all in there. Please check it out. And let's walk the path of giving you back your environment, giving you back your governance system. I cannot even name them democracies at this stage in time. That is the only path to an accomplished life, the life that you deserve. I thank you for your kind and benevolent attention. May peace be with you and all humans of the planet. Peace out.